I know.
Each week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. to catch Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR. Tune in.
What's up, y'all? We are back. This is Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR. And of course, I am JR. My lovely daughter and co-host is to the right. Charlie, how you doing, Charlie?
I'm doing good, Dad. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm above ground. It's a good day.
That's
Every day
right.
above ground is a good day.
Yeah,
you know?
just being vertical.
That's right, being vertical. We old people like being vertical.
That's right. Yeah, that's how you sleep. Everything.
That's
You're afraid
right.
to lay down,
That's
ain't
stand
you?
up. That's right. That's right. I'm afraid if I lay down, I'll stay down.
And you think about the older people. They sit in their chair, and that's where they want to be.
That's
They'll
right.
sleep in that chair. They don't want to lay
Right.
back.
Don't want to lay down. You sit up all the time. That's right.
Keep them feet up.
So now that we have sat here and babbled for a couple seconds,
got the old joke out.
Let me get got the old joke out. Although I'm sure there'll be at least one more.
At least one more.
Let me get Kim said two. Let me get the or was that a peace sign? That was you was agreeing with me.
Two more. Okay, yeah, two.
Let me get the housekeeping out of the way. Again, This is Speaking of Facts with Charlie and JR. I want to acknowledge our alter egos. Don't call it a comeback because I have been Fly. Over to my right, I got Fly Money.
Hey.
In the one piece, looking good.
Yeah. I got the whole the 70s vibe.
Yeah,
going
that's
on,
what I was gonna say. The kind of the paisley thing. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
And our producer back there is This Shit's Fly. What's up, Kim? Hey. And we got Evan over there on the knobs and faders. What's up, Evan? Man, we all good.
That's right.
So I'll go ahead and tell you early on. We sipping on the same thing we sipped on last week.
Okay, I'm down for that.
So,
I had actually said today I had not had a glass of wine since last week.
Last week
Wednesday.
You were saving it for
I
today.
Was saving. I'm overdue. Tastes good.
Yes. So we have a guest that will be along on the podcast a little later.
We were debating about that. Is it CPT time or is it CP time?
CP time, yeah.
Okay, y'all let us know.
I guess it's getting here at 7:00 CP time. So when they get here,
get here if you can.
That's right. In the meantime and in between time, I thought I would talk to you because you've been asking some questions of the day.
Yes.
And you asked a question. In fact, I'll even get the. We got the daughters back there in the back. How y'all doing back there?
Yeah. Hey.
So y'all can chime in too, but you asked a question.
Yes.
You can chime in too, Evan. You asked the question.
I asked a question
about have you ever stolen?
No,
not stolen.
Yeah.
Accidentally appropriated a towel or something from a hotel.
Right. My example was a towel. Yes. And so let me back up a little bit. So I decided about a week ago, I said, every day I'm just going to post what I like to say, thought-provoking questions or situations, just to, see, what people think. And so, yes, I asked that question about the towel. Have you accidentally taken a towel from a hotel before, And boy, I had a judge respond, I had a cop respond, and a lot of my Facebook family out there, and a lot of people said accidentally on purpose. One person who was a flight attendant said he took a picture of his bathroom cabinet with stacks of towels, talking about that was like, boy, your towels are folded nice and neat. Somebody said, I took 2 last week and I'm going someplace next week. I'm going to get one. But, what probably one of the biggest things that most people said, they believe that the towels are actually included in the price.
Well, that's kind of how I feel. When you rent a hotel room, you rent the hotel room. And whether you take the towel or not, they have charged you for it. It is already in their cost, their revenue structure for that room. The towel is in there.
And so I did have somebody. Will you go to that post so we don't mince one of the people's words? So in that post, like I said, we had a judge come on there, and so the judge's his opinion. He's actually said that he actually had someone come in to you dispute their ticket because a cop had wrote them a ticket going 3 miles over, and he thought that was kind of ridiculous, you know. So we all know the consensus is, and by even by cop standard, 1 mile over the speed limit is speeding. But I asked the cop, "Are you really writing tickets for 1 mile over?" And he said, "No." You know, they said most people the consensus is a 10-mile-per-hour grace. But if you are to get pulled over and get a ticket going 4 miles an hour, because somebody in those comments said they got pulled over going 4 miles an hour, somebody said
Over
6 or the speed limit. Between both of them, the biggest thing is if you get pulled over, make sure you acknowledge that you're speeding, because it's definitely not a situation where it's like, did I do that? Are you sure? Is your gun messed up? No, acknowledge, yes, officer woman, yes, I was speeding. And be apologetic. Hey, I know I should be going the speed limit. And they said typically, you know, on a plus sweet honey day, you would get a warning. Slow down and be safe, you know, because again, it's really not worth writing a ticket under, you know, that amount, you know.
Well, I don't know if the general public is aware of this, but if you get a ticket like that and
like what? How many miles?
Like, well, I mean, like you're going on 4 or 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. And you say, well, I'm going to take it to court. You go to court. The officer shows up. You ask for a continuance. You come back on the continuance. It's about a 50% lower probability that the officer will show up the second time.
Okay.
And you can get 3 continuances. And I'm not trying to turn out my daughters back there into crooks, but you can get 3 continuances. So
well, but I mean
the odds of a cop showing up to court 3 times, being taken off duty, taking off the what they pay him to do to come to court for something, so for a minor infraction is rare.
Gotcha.
So now on the time that the cop doesn't show up, they'll say, well, will you give us a continuance? And you can just say, no, I'm ready to go to trial. And then they have to drop it.
Okay.
So
continuance, or pay the ticket, you know,
or pay the ticket.
Yeah.
But I want to go around the room. I think I'm gonna start back there on the back. Hey Taylor, have you ever taken a towel from a hotel or a towel or a soap or? Yes. Yeah. You taken a towel before? Okay.
She's still using that towel today. No,
Let me go across the room. Anybody else taking a towel? No. You have?
Yeah.
Whenever you go on trips, you get one.
Okay.
What about you, producer lady?
You've never taken a towel?
You've never taken a towel? Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right. Oh,
okay. Well,
she said she don't even like using them in the hotel.
Patootie. She travels with her own towel. Yeah, she really does. When she came to Vegas and over her suitcase, they're like, "You brought towel?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
So what about it, Evan? You when you stay in a hotel, do you take the towels?
No, I never took the towel, but I took a bathroom.
You did a robe?
Oh,
okay.
a robe, okay.
See, that's a good, okay. A robe, or the shoes, you know, they're complimentary.
Yeah, or the little, you know.
Yeah, don't take nothing out of the fridge. They're going to charge you.
No, you take it out of the fridge, they're going to get you.
So I will tell you guys, though, that with the whole towel thing, there was a gentleman that went on the post to tell me, he said, "You mean you actually accidentally stole?" He goes, "Shows your character." And I was like, okay, so I had to hit him with Matthew 7:15. You know, Come on now, you can't go judging me. And look at yourself. You know, I mean, and again, this was not one of those moments that I was trying to, you know, make America great again, because I think that's what he was. We're gonna make America great again because we're not taking towels out of the hotel.
That's right.
So then he came back to say, you know, he's never stolen anything in his life, and that, you know, where he's from, you can leave your front door unlocked, you can leave your car unlocked, you can leave the keys in the ignition of your car. Your neighbor, friend could come to your house, use your car, and they would return it with a full tank of gas. They would go in your house and use your phone. It was just no problem.
Well, that's one
Have you
thing.
heard of that town before?
Well, yeah, I have. I have. Old Town.
Uh-huh.
Because when I mean, it's time for the old joke.
Oh, the old joke. Okay, back in the olden days.
Yeah, back in the olden days.
Uh-huh.
When I was a kid, you could do that. You could. My dad would go down to if somebody had taken his car, he would go down to the block and get somebody else's car, and we'd get in it and drive off and bring it back with a full tank of gas.
Uh-huh.
But I mean that's how it used to be in the 50s and 60s. You could do that. They
Okay.
did that. But as the song says, that was a long time ago.
Right.
I mean, so obviously he told his age in that response.
Right.
Because
Yes.
there's nowhere in America that you can leave your doors unlocked or leave your keys in your car now.
Well, you can't accidentally, but what's the chances that you're gonna come out
I mean,
to
having
it?
your car be there. That's the thing. So yeah, because I mean, I don't know. I don't. This is an old thing too, but I don't know if y'all have ever watched the older black and whites like Perry Mason.
Uh-huh.
Where they would just open your car door and go in there and look at your registration because it would be strapped to the steering column.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And so yeah, I mean that was the time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, I've accidentally left my car unlocked and came outside and they opened up my glove compartment and my armrest and took my sunglasses and they took stuff out of it.
Yeah,
and I hope they got pink eye because they took my really nice sunglasses. I wished all kinds of bad on them. Those are my favorite glasses.
So yeah, and so have any of you been pulled over for going under? I mean, like from 1 to 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. Anybody been pulled over? You've been pulled over for going 5 miles an hour or less over the speed limit? 7. Did you pay the ticket?
Yeah, because it was out of town. I was in Jacksonville.
Oh, okay. So it was pay or stay, huh?
Yeah, and 7 miles. And so at 7 miles now, when you got pulled over, were you apologetic? Were you saying, "Hey, I knew I was speeding," or did you?
I always I learned this from one of my friends. He said just take I don't like to so every time, but I used to take the keys out, put it on the dash so they don't think I'm trying to go nowhere. Lock the door still, but I hide the window crack halfway, and then just talk to him.
Okay. Gotcha.
If I know I was over it, then I just I don't really fight it.
Right.
I'm waiting to do that in court.
Gotcha. And so yeah, so that and that's true as from a safety standpoint, especially as a young black man, wanting to make sure that the cop knows, hey, I'm not running, I'm not confrontational, but I am keeping my, my guard because I don't want you doing something to me, and that's fair.
And just listen on that young black man note. Just let me say to anyone that is listening that my mama used to say you get more flies with honey than with vinegar. So if you get pulled over by a police officer, show them some respect. For even if you don't show anybody else in your day or even in your life respect. If you get pulled over by a police officer, show them some respect.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Charlie was saying a minute ago, odds are if you show them some respect that you will get out of whatever infraction they pulled you over for.
Yeah, I remember one time I got pulled over. I had just got some Pizza Hut pizza, and this is how long. I mean, this is a long time ago. This is when you could go get the little personal pans. I'm pretty sure you still can. But when I got pulled over, and I was like, "Officer, would you like a pizza?" Because I had gotten several personal pans, And the officer was like, "No, I'm good, but slow down." I'm like, "Okay," yeah. But every time I have gotten pulled over, I've definitely been, very, very, I acknowledge that I was speeding, hey, if you're going to give me a ticket, okay, great. I just didn't want to have the antics, even though I was upset that I got pulled over, but they would have never known it,
So how many tickets have you gotten?
Gosh, now I'm at the knock on wood because, it's, it's been a minute since
I've saying if you were younger, you'd be able to remember.
Yeah, exactly. Because it has been a minute since I've gotten a ticket. I think the last time I got pulled over was probably about 6 or 7 years ago. and I didn't get a ticket. They just asked me where I was going, and I thought that was weird. I'm like, I'm going to the store. Okay.
Were you in a upper scale neighborhood?
No, I was in Waterford Oaks.
Oh.
Yeah, but so I don't know. I feel like the officer just felt like wanting to stop me. That's kind of how I felt.
You just look, or you just look suspicious.
Yeah, I look suspicious.
Were
Very suspicious.
Were you
I had
driving
Taylor
like
in my car, so I think that's what it was. No. Yeah.
So, what other questions have you asked that
This
we
week?
can? And by the way, Evan, what's the Skype number in case anybody wants to chime in on any of these questions for this studio, for Studio C? 214-717-4678. 4678.
Yeah, so 214-717-6478. 64
Well, okay.
4678.
Okay, no, okay. So let's say this one more time.
214-717 4678.
4678.
Yes.
So let us know if you have ever accidentally or on purpose taken a towel from a hotel or a robe, as Evan did, and do you feel like that is okay? Do you feel like that is do you feel like you've paid for it when you get the room? Do you feel like you've paid for the towel? Do you feel like you've paid for the bathrobe? You know?
Yeah. And so then the next day I was going to ask a question, and that guy, he was like, you're making a mockery of theft and stealing. It shows low morals and your character. Because my next question that I kind of put on pause was I was going to ask, because I know people, I've never done this, but I know people who take the cutlery from restaurants.
Oh, yeah. No,
you know, that, and it, you know, and so Kim's like, can I eat off plastic only?
I would have to boil that.
You know, I don't know. So, but you know, there's all different types of things. Whatever's coming out of this crazy head, y'all gonna see it on my page. So this is my shameless plug. If you want to be a part of these questions, then y'all need to follow me, Charlamagne Armstrong, and I'm that way across all of my platforms. You have a question?
Hmm?
Oh,
move the mic up.
Okay.
Oh, they said move the mic up. Is it? Are you getting me, Evan? Oh.
And
okay.
So, so yes, Charlamagne Armstrong on across all the platforms, and that way y'all can jump in on these questions. The question for tomorrow, my girls helped me do it, and so I'm gonna post it tomorrow. So y'all, I'm not gonna tell y'all what it is tonight. Y'all have to come on my page tomorrow.
That's right. The teaser. That's right.
It's a teaser.
There you go. Yeah, you know,
it's a good one.
You know. So, but have you asked any other questions that we can discuss?
Yes, I asked if anybody's ever gone skydiving, and a lot of people said, "Why would you jump out of a perfectly good airplane?" And I have gone skydiving, and it was amazing. It was fun. You know, I might do it one more time with people back there if they want to do it.
What? Wait, y'all going skydiving? Oh, so they said that quick.
What's wrong with y'all?
They said they ain't jumping out of a perfectly good airplane. So Evan, skydiving.
I tried it once.
You'll try it once?
Yeah.
It's not like on the top of my things to do.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Well, you know, it was. I will say that I'm different in that I've done within reason. And people say, "What's the reason behind jumping out of a plane?" But I'll do most things once within reason. You know, the jumping out of the plane was one of those things where it's like, you know what? Let me do it. You know.
I think I need to jump out of this plane.
Right. I did not put much thought into it. Like, it was kind of like, you know, yeah, I'm just going to do this. But I will tell you that when I got there, what I had to sign, the waivers was, I mean, I never seen nothing like, because basically I had to say that if I died, that I wouldn't sue them. Of course, I'm dead. I can't do that. Right. But, you know, it went as far as my estate couldn't sue them. And even went as far as to say that if I died due to malfunction, that somebody who knew me couldn't sue them because I died. And somebody who even thought that they knew me couldn't sue them because I died. Like, they covered every possible clause that they could come up with. My job couldn't sue me because it couldn't sue them because I died. You know,
yeah.
It's a hold harmless. And to be honest, if something was to happen, because it is something that is life threatening that you're doing, your insurance won't cover it.
Right. Right.
So yeah, you're really kind of jumping out of a plane all by yourself. You know, that you have no support. You have assurance. Yeah. You have assurance because, you know, I had God with me.
Blessed assurance.
Yeah, I have my blessed assurance.
But no insurance.
Yeah, but no insurance. If something would have happened to me, they would have not covered it. So, you know, that's something that, you know, when you're there, I didn't want to punk out because, you know, I was there with other people and everybody else is signing. I'm like, okay, this is what we doing. Okay. All right. But I will tell you that it was not that bad. You know, it looks worse than what it really is. It's just like jumping off of a step.
Except you're falling a lot longer.
But it's over with before you know it.
Yeah.
You're on the ground and it's just like, okay, I did that, you know?
Let's see.
It's a celebratory moment.
Yeah. What have I done that is risky? Let me see. And I was in San Francisco a few weeks ago, as y'all know, because I wasn't on the podcast that week. But I rode in a driverless vehicle when I was in San Francisco. Now,
I've never done that.
Yeah. Has anyone else in the room ever ridden in a driverless vehicle?
Nope.
You rode in one?
Well, that might be a nice segue.
Yeah, that might be a nice little segue
to bring Xander in.
But in fact, our guest is here. But I rode in a driverless vehicle when I was in San Francisco, and we were talking about one and done. That's probably a one and done. It was interesting. As a matter of fact, my coworker tried to blow the horn at somebody that he saw, and this voice came on: "Don't touch the left side of the car. If you do it again, we're putting you out. Your ride is over." So, they meant that. But
and that's the reason why I'm not riding in one.
It was the people, I guess dispatch people or whatever, customer service people. They can see the cars and they can see what's going on in the cars.
Yes.
So
all right.
So yeah, I
so
our nice timid producer Kim said, "Why didn't I give them the finger?" So,
yes.
So.
Well,
And then what else did I do? Oh, I'm trying to think of which hotel it is in Vegas. Maybe you can help me. The one that's got the rides on top. Which one is it? Is that the Fitzgerald?
No, that's the Stratosphere.
Oh, is that the Stratosphere? Is that the Stratosphere?
Yes.
Okay. There's 3 rides on top of the Stratosphere. One is like a needle that just goes straight up, like the Superman ride at Six Flags.
Yeah, you can come on in.
And then there's one. Come on in, Xander. And then there's one that that hangs you out. That's the Stratosphere. I'm sorry, it's like 40 stories.
You good? Okay.
And so it hangs you over the street. It hangs you over the street, and then it spins you. You saw that, right?
I've seen it.
Okay, and I did that one once. Yeah, that was one.
I've done all of those. I've done the rides on top of the Stratosphere, the New York. I've done them all. Yeah, but I'm too old for that stuff now.
Okay, so
I know.
Charlie, take over the talking while I adjust this microphone.
Well, so our special guest is here, Mr. Xander, and so he so graciously stepped in. Our other guest could not make it today, so we pray that all is well with her. But Xander so graciously said, "You know what? I'm gonna come in because I got something to talk about." It went like that, right?
It really did. It really did. It was very impromptu. So for everyone, my name is Xander Harden. I'm from California. Moved over here during COVID. Done a lot of different things, but right now my really huge vision is networking. And I do feel that a lot of people have been gatekeeping the secrets to success. And I feel that each person that you meet is a building block to something greater.
That's right.
And the only way that we're going to make it as a community, as a people, is to unite and help each other grow.
Yes.
It makes no sense for us to one person doing better than the other. There's enough money out here for everyone. So about me, I'm the director of media operations for Real Drama Media.
Mhm.
We basically go out, do commercials for realtors, for your events, churches, and
Yes.
it's still relatively new, but we are under the umbrella company of Red Wine Experience Title. So, you know,
Mhm.
we definitely work. We love our realtors. We love
Yes.
our loan
You do?
officers.
Oh, you
Yes.
do?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You love me?
Absolutely, yes.
Aw.
Without a doubt.
Cute.
And then we also are
Fix this.
in
TikTok.
partnership with Serenity as well. So we
Can't
have a
see it.
lot of different umbrellas. We have a lot of good things that are on the horizon. Today, I loved working with you today. It was
Yes.
absolutely
It was.
simple and fast.
Yes, it was. It was excellent, and so the news is that if anybody out there watching and in our audience is wanting to maybe live in Lancaster and having a great affordable home that would be suitable
Yes.
for a first-time home buyer. But actually, that home is actually big enough for. I mean, it don't even have to be a first-time starter home. That home is actually ready to go.
Oh, it's,
you know?
it's big enough for a small family for sure.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
And so, that's gonna. We got some pictures. Y'all did pictures for us today.
Absolutely.
And
They
we
came
can't
out
wait to put
perfect.
those pictures out there for everybody to see. Now, I have a question that's totally off topic.
Yes, ma'am.
So, have you ever done any voiceovers or anything like that? Because that just
Well, he has the. It's a good question because he has the voice.
I heard you singing, and I
Yes.
cannot do what you do because I was like, "Who is that in the other room performing?" I was like, I peeked around the corner and I just saw you doing your thing. To answer your question, yes, I do freelance voice acting. My goal is to get to audiobooks and read books to either kids or possible adult content, depending on whichever way it drags me. But I love doing narratives and voiceovers.
I love that. So that's
Yes,
awesome.
ma'am.
I'm actually I was just telling my girls, so one of my friends, Christy, who came on the show, she introduced me to plays, and I actually did a reading for 2 plays, and I guess I did okay because they asked me to be in the play. So
Okay,
yes. So I'm excited.
yes.
So I'm adding, actress to the things,
repertoire.
to the
Mhm,
repertoire.
mhm.
And so the next play that I'm going to be in is called The 50 Cent Jewelry Line. And they were actually doing that actually at a Grambling. And so that's going to be in August. So,
Okay,
so I'm
okay.
excited about that. So, yeah,
Please make sure you let us know.
I
We
will.
would like to be in
I would like to have
attendance.
everybody in the crowd and, cheer me on. And if I make a mistake, it's going to be okay. No, I'm going to try to really do good. But, the lines is what, you got it. Learning the lines, remember the
Yes.
lines,
Yes.
Yes.
And keep in mind, a lot of the great movies that you love, the Tyler Perry movies,
Ad
the
lib.
Marvel, they made it up on the spot. Someone
Yeah.
messed up, and they're like, just roll with it.
That's right. So
If you're confident, anyone will believe anything that you say.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Take them
They,
with a straight face.
they
that's
definitely
right.
will.
I got it.
Xander, you said something a minute ago that I kind of wanted to roll back to. You were talking about there being enough money for everyone,
Yes, sir.
and the gatekeeper is keeping knowledge of
Yes,
how of how to be financially financially independent
Right.
and from other people. And when you said that, I was thinking back to there's a book called Think and Grow Rich.
Mhm.
Have you heard of that one?
I've not.
The original version
Dan
of Think
Kawasaki is his name or something.
Oh no,
I
that's
just made it up.
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Napoleon.
Hill.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
okay. Yes.
Look at, thank you, Tina.
Because I had forgotten the author, and I don't know how I did. But the
I went
original
to Dan.
version of Think and Grow Rich was about 2.5 times thicker than the actual book. And what happened is that they did not want the masses to have that knowledge,
Of course not.
so they went in and they made him shrink the book before they would release it. And so and that just tells the individual human being that we gotta go for what we know. We gotta fight for what is we feel that we're worthy of. Because there, by the way, Xander, would you like a?
I would. Yes.
We have a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh, fancy. Very fancy. If it pours, I drink it.
Okay, and then we have a
Okay.
sweet Riesling. So whichever one you would. The
That's-
Cabernet?
That's the one.
This is the one.
Yes, sir.
See, our producer is always at the ready. She is always.
Yes. Because we don't want to drink in front of you and have you be sitting here parched. So it'd only be fair if you get a chance to partake.
or mad at us because we didn't share.
Right.
Thank you so much.
And but that's so true though, because I feel like we had somebody on the show a couple weeks ago back, and what she said a lot. If you look to your left and you look to your right, you'll find people who can help you.
Absolutely.
And you want to nurture the relationships you already have,
Yes.
because definitely it can help you grow.
Yes.
So instead of looking for something new, you reach back out to what you know. Sometimes you can get lost with, okay, I need something new, but what you already know you can make it new.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you a question. If I had an idea that could make you, let's say, $1 million,
Mm-hmm.
and all you had to do was just sit across from me and have lunch,
Mm-hmm.
would you not take the time to do that?
I definitely would take the time.
Oh, definitely.
And that is why networking,
Let me just raise it up.
these events through Eventbrite and things of that nature that are free, that's what that is. You're in a room full of people that are like-minded,
That's right.
that want to succeed. Everyone has the same mindset, do they not?
Yeah.
Everyone
yeah.
wants to be financially
Everybody
literate.
wants to make some money.
Exactly. However, going about doing that requires tact, it requires professionalism,
Right.
and it also requires putting God first. Yes.
Yes.
Well, it does.
Yeah, definitely
It does.
putting God
If
first.
if you plan to hang on to it,
Yeah.
I've seen. Yeah, well, I won't. I've seen people that could not tie their shoe make a lot of money. I was going to say it another way, but I've seen people that could not tie their shoe make a lot of money.
Absolutely.
But a fool and his money will soon be parted. And so it is one thing to have money, but it is one thing to turn it into a viable sustainability for yourself and a legacy for those coming behind you.
Absolutely.
And so you mentioned that besides, going to events like Eventbrite are definitely we as Black and brown people, and I don't like pointing us out a lot because this podcast is for everybody. However,
Yes.
as Black and brown people, we do the least amount of networking for the per capita, for the amount of us that's around.
And there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
The reason, unfortunately, is, and it's very truthful, I am scared that you might do better than me. You might take my idea. You might not assist me with my dream, or you might take it away from me. So I'm going to self-isolate, figure it out on my own, and once I make it, act like I don't know anyone.
Right. And then
And
I won't
see,
see it. Right. Then I'll.
Right. And see, I used to host events all the time. The pandemic kind of slowed it down, but I said I'm going to get back to the swing of things. So I'm actually hosting an event July 26th at the Green Jacket. I think, Tina, you saw I put it up on Facebook. And somebody said to me, you just like hosting events for no reason. Not that like, what are you doing?
I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah. It was like, why are you
mean?
doing this? And I said, because I really do see myself as a connector. That's something that I've always been able to do. I've been able to put events together and people have a good time. And, it's just a quirky idea I have, but, we rock with it and it works. And so I'm doing that event on the 26th, and I actually want to do it monthly and just have it to where we come. It's a nice spot. People can connect. Networking is about, of course, meeting people. But when you make that connection, what is your commonality? Because that's where the money is. That's what you're finding, something that you guys are actually passionate about, that y'all can work on together, and that y'all can expound on. And by expounding on that, the sky's the limit. And that's really what it's about.
And let me put out there, Xander, since you talked about us not wanting us being crabs in the barrel, basically, is what you were talking about.
Yes, sir.
Let me open that barrel, and by first saying that my daughter makes more money than I do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy for her.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I am happy that she makes more money than I am. And it is selfish to not want to share some of what you have because you're worried about how much the next person has.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It you know, I mean, you know, Charlie knows that if she needs something, all she got to do is call dad. If I got it, it's hers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And vice
But
versa.
and vice versa. But I am truly ecstatic that and I talked about that on the podcast. I think all of my children are better parents than I was. You know, and I think that's the way it's supposed to be. You know, I you know, two of my children definitely make more money than I do. Not all four, but two of them do. And that's great. You know, I wish all four of them did.
Right.
You know, because that means that a seed that was planted took root and grew. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so I we do need to get out of that crab in the barrel mentality.
Right.
Not wanting you to have because I'm afraid that you're not gonna either. I don't want you to have it, or I'm jealous because or envious because I don't think you're going to share with me or give me any. And by the way, envy and jealousy are two of the 7 deadly sins. And I think if people would just pay attention to the 7 deadly sins, you know, because those are killers. You know,
Right.
Absolutely.
jealousy,
And gluttony,
envy,
too.
gluttony. You know, they are
Too
killers.
much. You don't have to have it all. You know, you just need the right amount, and whatever that is. You know, there's you know, if we try to hoard and have everything for ourselves, then you're not leaving nothing for anybody else, and that's not what it's meant to be either.
And that's something that I've really, in this most recent networking event that I went to, which is the Millennials in Dallas, about
I
a week
missed
or
that.
so
I'm a
ago.
millennial.
And the commonality of people, anytime I would talk to someone, I told them that I wanted to create a network of business for predominantly for Black businesses. So I'm working on a Facebook group called Bureau of Black Businesses. And the goal behind that is real estate is huge. Don't get me wrong. However, I met models at this event. I met nurses. I met school teachers. I met people in so many different industries to the point that I could speak with one person and they would tell me, I'm in this industry, but I want to switch to this. Speak to the next person and it's like, I'm in this industry and I love it. And this is the industry that last person I spoke to wanted to be a part of. So my goal is to build a network of people of all, whether you build houses, whether you build purses, whether you flip houses, whether you're able to educate. Knowledge should be free at the end of the day. And unfortunately, it is capitalized and it is, the narrative is controlled by the media. And I feel that us as a people, us as a community deserve to take that back. And that is what I'm working on.
Oh,
That's right.
I love it because there is so much. The one thing about being my age, well, one of the things about being my age, we were talking about this earlier, is that there was a common unity, which is really the etymology of community, but there was a common unity to the way, to the lifestyle, to the culture back then. We were talking about before you got here how you could get back back in the day. Yeah, back in the way back, getting the way back machine, but people left their keys in their cars, they left their doors unlocked, and you could go down the street, and if you needed a car, you could borrow that car and just put gas in it.
You never lived there, did you? You never lived there.
We had to go way back. That is scary.
We're talking in the 50s and 60s.
Okay, actually, so you wouldn't do that today? You wouldn't leave your key?
Absolutely not.
And let your neighbor...
It is a push to start car that the key is on me.
Yes.
If I'm not in that car does not move.
Okay.
Well, yes, and it was a simpler time. If someone borrowed your
put
car,
gas in it, it's like, hey, I'll go and I need to run to the store. And
he would just no
text messages, no beeper.
Well, pages. I mean, back then, I guess I think it was Lethal Weapon that Chris Rock was talking about. We had to 1, 7. So it wasn't no, there wasn't any of that.
It's a rotary phone.
But it was a time where neighbors were neighbors, and you didn't really worry about people. You didn't worry about your
Crack
kids
hadn't
playing
come
out.
out yet. I'm just teasing. No.
well, was that an old joke? See, no, now the podcast is complete. Yeah, but yeah. So but now, of course, that time unfortunately has passed. But still, as a people, like you said, we need to be uplifting and edifying
we
each
can
other.
still leave the key. So basically, we still are, the keys are different now. They're not the keys to our homes. It's not the keys to our cars, but we try to give the keys to wealth. We're trying to, like this podcast, we're putting keys out there. What do you take from it, what you can use, and how you can apply it to you. So we say every week, hey, you have a business, you want to come on this show, promote your business, you have something that you're passionate about, you want to come on this platform, let's do it, because there are people who are watching and people who will take away from it and use it applicably. It can be used to open up any door you like, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah. And you were talking earlier about some of the things that your media company does. I heard you guys talking about using drones to take pictures and everything. So just tell us a little about what you guys do. So if somebody's listening and needs your services,
they need some pictures, some air.
So my love for photography and pictures really came from food. I would just start taking pictures of food. And as I progress, I worked for Samsung for a short time, got a really, really great phone, really, really great camera. And then I started selling houses for Grand Homes. And when I did that, I'm like, these houses are amazing. And I wanted to create a memory that I can pass to the next person. And with technology advancing, drones with 360 cameras, with all of these different forms of technology to promote business, to show someone, don't you wish that you were here?
Right.
That is marketing, that is branding, that is something that we do. So whether you have something very simple that you just want to document and you don't want to have to think about it, we want to be able to have you turn your brain off and we do the work for you. You tell us what you want to have shot, and then we come out, we drive out, and we get it done in a timely manner, and we have it sent to you.
And I will say that that house in Lancaster that Charlie mentioned, they came
Whose
out.
house is it?
They came out and did an excellent job photographing the house. They guided the process, because that's the other thing. Sometimes,
Papa, was that your house?
It was the house for Papa.
Oh,
Yes, it was my house, and I guess it is for a little while longer anyway. But
you did a tremendous job, by the way. I heard about the before and the after, and I've seen it. I'm like, how bad was this before?
Yeah. Well, I got in there, and like I said, I couldn't even do any work inside the house for weeks. That's why it was all tore up, because I was outside, because I was like, I can't even sleep. I feel like these vines are gonna come through the windows and choke me. So I had to do something about it. But and then as far as marketing goes, curb appeal is important, and you want to present. You always want to present your the best version of yourself. If it's you want to present the best version of what you're selling. If you're selling something, you want to present the best version of life for someone else, so that they can imagine their dreams. That's what you were talking about, right? They make it so they can imagine what you're displaying. So let them see it in their mind,
right.
And that I love entrepreneurs that take something simple and make something grand.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it has to have your own brand, and that's what it is. People don't go into business because say, oh, well, somebody else has done it, but the thing they're missing is that it was not them. People do business with people they like, they can trust, and they feel like they can have a commonality with. So if you can match that, then it doesn't matter if you're taking pictures, making videos, dancing, cooking. There is enough money out there, as said, for everybody. The thing is that you have to make it your own. You can't. obviously you can't open up another Mickey D's, right? Remember McDowell's, can't be too close, but you got to make it your own. If you make it your own, people love that. That makes them feel like, hey, I'm supporting you. And it doesn't matter that there's a million other people doing the same thing.
So I have a question for both of you. So this is your daughter, correct?
Yes.
Now let me ask you, when you come home late nights and food on the table and you see the kids are running around, are you proud of what you've created?
Very. As I was saying a minute ago, I the fact that all of my children are self-sufficient. They're they are not only are they self-sufficient, but they are for the most part gracious. They are professional, and I like I said, I wish all of them were. I would rather all of them be making $1 million a day and me making $5 million, if that had to be, what I'm saying, because I know that I had something to do with that. Maybe I didn't have a lot to do with it, but I had something to do with it, and that is edifying. The fact that you have giving something to the world, that is giving something to the world.
That's what it's about. Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I am very proud of all of them. I am.
Are you proud of yourself?
I'm working on that. Honestly, I am proud that I am very proud that I of my relationship with God. I'm very proud of my relationship, of my my walk with Christ. I am very proud of the children that I have. Being proud of me, I'm working on that. To be honest, I said on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, and I'll go ahead and get the next old joke in. But I just turned 67, and honestly, I found out something about myself in the last couple of weeks that's been blowing me away, and it's been blowing me away partly because I just found out this about myself at 67. You know what I'm saying? So but that's a good thing too, because that means that I'm still alive. I'm still learning. I'm still growing.
He's still kicking. And he's becoming a real estate investor. He's doing all these things. That people say, "Oh, you're too old to do." But that being said, we need like a part 2 of this, don't we?
Well, we do.
Because Xander, we've enjoyed you. We got to hear. Yeah.
It is. Oh wow. We just here talking, and it's like Evan said we ain't got to go home, but we got to get the.
I will say that we're definitely proud of you, Dad. You have one thing. Growing up, having him be our papa, he always made sure that the answer to everything was in the book.
Yes.
And so that's something that has been very important. That's, when I'm looking for something, I'm looking at, I'm memorizing it. I like to say I'm a walking Wikipedia. I'm probably full of news you cannot use, but if you want to know it, I might have to know a little bit about it, but that's just how he wanted us to be,
My father raised me to be able to, and he did. I watched him. That was one of the things that I was very proud of him, that he could walk down the street and he could hold a meaningful conversation with a wino laying in the gutter, and then he could go down to City Hall and speak to the mayor and have a meaningful conversation with the mayor, and did. And I watched this, so that was, and he always said that you should be able to meet everybody where they are and speak to everybody where they are.
Yeah.
So exactly. That has allowed me to move through life and not have all of the advantages that other people have had.
And going back to that, meeting people where they're at. One of my clients that I end up helping the whole family, their son, I was teaching the first time home buyers class. Their son was in the class. And he asked questions, and I remember everybody in the class be like, "Oh my God, oh, he's asking another question." They were slouching, but I answered all of his questions. And I remember I did his financing. He bought a $60,000 house, and everybody goes, "Why are you working so hard on that loan?" I'm like, "Because he wants to buy a house, and if he wants to buy a house, I'm gonna help him." Needless to say, I helped his brother who owned a couple of houses. I helped his mom and dad who owned, so people have got to stop stepping over the small people to get to the big people. You help the people that when I walk into a building, I talk to the janitor, I talk to the cook. I talk to everybody. There's not anybody that I'm not going to speak to and say, hey, how you doing? Because it's important. You know, you just never know whom you're talking to. And people assume that, you know, when they step over what they think is a little person, that they're really missing out. They're missing out on a big lesson.
Yeah, and really quickly, be willing to take knowledge where you find it. We're willing to gather wisdom where it lies.
Don't allow your ego to stop you.
You know, yeah. I mean, this podcast exists, and I'm gonna have you say your number, how people can reach you really quickly.
Okay.
But this podcast exists because she called me on the phone at work and said, "Dad, what you doing?" I said, well, I'm at my desk. I can talk. She said, "Well, let's do a podcast." And I said, "Well, when?" She said, "Right now." And we did our first podcast on StreamYard from instantly, and that has grown into something that is still growing. But I am so thankful that my daughter A thought of me, and B had the initiative to do this, because I would not have done this, you know. So
and now we're here. We got a producer.
Yeah, you know, we got the daughters in the back there, you know, and we got I got a room full of people. But Xander, tell them how to reach you really quickly.
If you guys would like to reach me, my phone number, you can reach me at 209-241-3976. And
repeat that one more time.
209-241-3976. We are also working on our social media as well, so that will stay tuned for that.
Okay, stay tuned. And then you also are partnering with Experience Title, Red Wine,
yes.
Law Firm.
We're a part of everything.
Part of everything. So yeah, there you go.
Xander, thank you again for coming on the show at the last minute, and you didn't even have to beg him very much, huh?
I did not, you know.
It was like, hey, you want to do this? What time?
Yeah, what time? Okay, what's up? So we appreciate you.
Yes. So on behalf of our producer Kim, on behalf of our engineer Evan, and everybody else that's in the place, we are. This is Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR. We will be back next week, same facts time, same facts channel.
And you got to love yourself so you can love somebody else.
That's right.
One of the 7 rules of making life successful.
There you go. So we will see y'all next Wednesday, and until then, keep it real and keep it fresh and keep it happening. Keep on moving.
I thought you were gonna say keep it funky. I was gonna say back in the 70s.
There you go. There you go. Oh, let me break out my Superfly hat, huh?
There you go.
But we'll see y'all next time.
Bye, y'all.
Fishbowl Studio. Hey, this is Charlie. This is JR. Host of Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR. Broadcasting live each week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. from Fishbowl Studios.
Log on to hear us speaking the facts on current events, family, and finance.
So be sure to log on each week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. to catch Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR.
Tune in.
Hey, this is Saida Johnson.